Good afternoon, everybody. We are Speaker Insight, where we help speakers, authors, and coaches to build a portfolio business on your terms. And my name is Helena.
And I'm Kelly.
And we are the founders of the Facebook group, The Connection Hub, which is a wonderful and brilliant place where literally thousands, 11,000 plus speakers, authors, and coaches come in to share their opportunities, connect with professionals like speaker agents and publishers and web designers, and really just support each other to build a business.
On your terms, right?
On your terms every time, every time. Do
And we
come
know
and
many
join
of
us. Yeah,
yeah, so Helena's putting the links in the comments.
yeah.
Hey Sue, good to see you. So every Tuesday we go live at 1 p.m. BST, unless there's a guest that's over the pond or from Australia, and we normally adapt our times. And we know many of you watch us live and many more of you watch us on the replay. So if you're watching on the replay, please put hashtag replay in the comments so we know that you're watching on the catch up. And we also love to know where our audience is watching from. So put it in the comments, your country. Hey, Carol, good to see you. What country or what county you're listening from, because we do have a worldwide audience and we'd love to know where our audience is watching from today.
We really, really like that. I love that Carol's become a firm favourite kind of for these. It's like we are now the hot lunch date in her diary because she is in the UK, and I know that for a fact. Which is unless she's swanning it around somewhere else, who knows, right? First of all, though, we are going to do what we always do, which is kick you off with the buzz in your business. This is your opportunity to really just tell us what is going on, what's exciting, what's inviting, what's intriguing in your business that you might want to let us know about. So here comes the jingle.
Love a bit of jingle. So we'll kick you off. Do tell us in the comments. A lot of you are watching from the UK, it looks like, at the moment. But do tell us in the comments about what's going on in your business. We always encourage you to do this in the Connection Hub and on our lives to make sure that you're interesting. You've got something to talk about in your business and you don't just do the typical British thing of, oh, my business is fine, thanks very much. Right, we want you to know what's going on. So our bit of buzz while you're thinking about yours is that last week we asked you on our live and also in the Connection Hub as one of our announcement posts about whether you guys would be interested in us starting our Connect and Create days back up again in September, COVID willing. Because we know that some people are actually much more, they want to do virtual events and not live events. So we were gauging the interest. And actually we got an overwhelming response of people saying, yes, we want to come to the Connect and Create Day. Some people couldn't make that date of the 30th of September, but others were saying, we want to be there. And we only have 16 places because it's a real meet and greet, networking, get stuff done day.
Well done.
So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be contacting those people that said that they want to come, give them first dibs on tickets before it goes out to our membership site. And so if you still want to come and you want to learn about Connect and Create Day, just go to the announcement post in the Connection Hub and you'll see our poll there and say whether you want to come or not. But that's where we're quite excited to actually start slowly kicking off our live events again in Q3 this year.
For sure. And it's just so kind of, it's heartening. So I'm actually quite excited because the buzz for me is that I also run a community on behalf of a friend up in Scotland, and I'm actually going to Scotland to run a workshop, to be in a room that normally seats 90 people that has 30 people in it, but it's still a live workshop. So it's still very exciting. It's still people. And it's like, oh my God, no, you can't touch them. Good God, that's not in the guidelines.
So this is great from Carol. Carol's just been rebooked to speak at the Personal Branding and Sparkle at the Scottish Chartered Accountants Summit. Well done you, Carol. That's
congratulations.
Awesome.
And Stephen's saying, with more people asking, why didn't you do that then? I'm coming back around to the idea that focusing on PDA is my natural next thing to do, which is really, really
that
exciting.
Makes us very happy, Stephen.
Me too. Hi, Kim. Nice to see you. And so right, let us kick you off with what's going on. We've got some people joining us inside the Connection Hub. If you're not a member in there, just check the link somewhere below, above, or to the side of you, depending on how you're watching this. But really, let's kick you off into today's topic. And we're talking all about creating media packs. And as we're talking about those, if you already have, or hang on a second, Sue saying, excited to be revamping and launching new products on my Vetiver Herbal Etsy page. Really good.
Etsy's definitely taking off for a lot of people at the moment. I'm interested to see, Sue, I know you're in the hub. Give us an update on how a health and wellbeing product is going on Etsy. I know they're good for arts and crafts and homeware and stuff, but I'd be interested to know how that goes. So keep us updated.
Yeah, for sure. It just as a small aside, it was quite an interesting one just in a conversation with Sue recently. For those of you who are selling on Etsy versus selling on Amazon, actually the audiences are so different. It always comes down to avatar, and we actually found that that the avatar for one versus the other are entirely different, which means that the same pictures, the same descriptions don't get the same traction.
Are you saying that Amazon people just want a bargain and Etsy people want quality stuff that's made ethically? Really?
I sort of was exactly saying that. It's like, oh yes, we have to be in the language of our avatar. And that's kind of going to segue me into media packs. We have to provide language for people. We have to provide things for people who want to have us speak on behalf of them. So what is a media pack? It is making it easy for the journalists, the podcasters, the interviewers, the people who want you on their stage. It's making it easy for them to put you on their stage. That's essentially what we're going to do. So for some of you, you might already be seasoned speakers or guests on such things, and you might already have a media pack. If you do, tout it now. Put your link in, and we expect that that would be the link that has the link to your website that has that little tab that says media pack on it. Because actually, whether you're watching on the replay, do a hashtag replay for us, because we like a little bit of that anyway. But pop it in here, because we want to be able to see examples, because people learn from each other in this way. So whether you are a speaker, author, or a coach, having a media pack really does enable you to access with much more ease the speaking gigs, the being interviewed on the podcasts, the summits, just getting all of that PR coverage. It makes it very easy for you. It allows you to present yourself in the best light and a professional one. In fact, it kind of you can do the I'm a proud professional because I have a media pack tab on my website. That's where you can go to. So today we thought it would be really helpful for you if we went through the components of a media pack and how you can use them in your marketing. It really does save you so much time, and it makes you effective, efficient, and as I say, pretty professional too.
So as Veronica's just in the process of rebranding with a new website, this should be a tab on your new website, Veronica.
Yes.
Okay?
Oh no, one more.
And the reason why we want you to put a pack together and predominantly put it on your website is because when you've got that PR opportunity, and PR opportunities are quick, right? You need to be, if you're going to get interviewed on the television that day, you need to get everything across, because breaking news and stuff happens. So when you've got people have the problem of, I'm going to send you my profile image. It's too big a file to send via my email. Or you're going to send them an updated bio and you go, which was my last saved version out of the 70 versions of my bio I've got in my Dropbox folder? What was the latest one? All these hassles. What's my latest speaker show reel, blah, blah, blah. If you've got it on one page, you just send them the URL to that page on your website. Helps more traffic, but they can download everything from that page, and it makes it so easy. And as Helena says, you come across really specific. Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to talk. I know Helena's just put a link into the comments there. As people always ask us for examples, and one of the best examples I can give you is the speaker agency that I manage, Stellar Speakers. Our Stellar Speakers all have a media package page on their individual profiles. So if you go to the speaker directory that Helena's just put in and look at their media package sections, then you'll see examples of what can go in your media package. But before we talk about the components and what needs to be in there, let's just get real clarity on not just that example of what I've given of how easy it is for you to use them, but also other ways that media packs can help you come across, be more efficient, more effective, and more professional.
For sure.
One of the components that is really good to have in your media pack is a way that when you get interviewed on stage, on a podcast, or someone's actually emceeing you onto the stage, it's really important that you give them the short script introduction of how to introduce yourself.
Yeah.
There might be something in your presentation that are spoilers that you don't want them to say in when they introduce you, or it might be the fact that you actually there was the book, wasn't it, by Tara Moore, that where they actually introduced her wrongly. A TV show. Yeah. And she's like, my God, I don't agree with that statement at all. So it's really good for you to actually have these professional bios and introductory scripts in there to help people know how to introduce you. So that's one of the things.
Yeah.
It's also really good when you are being a guest speaker, or maybe you're doing a JV launch with somebody, that they need those high-res images of you. Yeah. Or even it might be the fact that you're doing a product together and they need your book cover, or they need the high-res images of the program that you're selling. So therefore, if you've got these high-res images, it helps people, again, be able to just download them straight from your site rather than have the problem of too larger files.
Yeah.
I would also encourage you to name those pictures, not IMG 4724, whatever, right? Your brand name, the stage that you've spoken on, whatever it is, the keywords that you're optimizing your website for, because images rank so well on SEO.
That's right.
And if they're on your website and they're named, then that's going to help your metadata of your traffic, as well as also when that person downloads them onto their system, it's got your name and they know what it is.
Especially if you know, because sometimes you might be part of a summit that's got 20 different speakers on it. Let's make it really easy. Again, it's that professional touch. Make it really easy for that organizer to put together their web pages and not put your name, because I've definitely seen this happen. Not put your photo in under somebody else's thing. You just go, no,
me,
I know. I wasn't going to say that it was actually you that was my example, but good on you for being just perfectly transparent. I love it.
Okay, so this is the thing when we're being featured in the media. So this is a newspaper article, which is normally a longer turnaround, or a magazine article. But if you're being featured on the TV, they want stuff right away if it's breaking news. So therefore, again, you want something where the images, the information that you're talking about, maybe some quotes from you that are actually what they're going to use to actually put into the conversation or the interview. Sure. Links to all of your websites and your external places where you want to direct people to. This is really information to help direct media traffic, so they have everything they want in there.
Yeah.
So I just did an interview with Gail King. Should I add that to my media page? We're coming on to that. We'll come on to that when we get to the components, but well done. That's awesome.
That's really, really great.
The other thing is that if you want people to discover how to work with you, or really get an understanding of the contents of what you speak about, how you coach, etc., then in your media pack you need to give the video footage of the show reels, right? Your speaker show reels, so that people can get to know you better, but they can see you in action. I'll come on to this, and I'll get onto my soapbox a little bit later as an agent about show reels.
But and she will really soapbox for you.
Yeah. I'll do that link in a bit. I'll do it when I talk about show reels, but not here. So, and then the final thing is, we mentioned this at the beginning. Ideally, this media pack should be on your website. Mm-hmm. Veronica said that she's gone yes to putting it on her new website. The reason is that if you've got it all stored in a Dropbox file or a Google Drive and you start sending that over, so people go, oh, it's the wrong email address, or I haven't got permission to see it. But we want you to actually increase the traffic to your website. And we want everything to be easily downloadable. So it's one simple link. And even though they might have gone there for your speaker show reel, they've seen other components and gone, oh, I didn't know they were featured on Gail King's blah, blah, blah. And then they see more, right? So it helps with your traffic of your SEO. It helps with the effectiveness. You've got one link to send anybody at open access. And it also raises your profile and credibility on your site, because they're like, as Helena goes, they're really professional. Look at all the stuff that they've got, right? Mm-hmm. So it's raising credibility as well.
Yeah. And there's something really quite amazing about having all of those components in one place, actually, because what it does is it allows you to accept opportunities really fast. And it allows you to evaluate that you can actually say yes to something where, under normal circumstances, if you didn't have this, you'd be scrabbling around and you'd be like pulling it together. So it's really worth taking the time, to pull this together, but to also have it regularly scheduled to update them. But we'll come on to that a little bit more. So let's go through some of the parts here. I jumped the gun a little bit and I put two links in, but I've taken them out because I don't want you to stay with me for a second whilst we go through what the actual needs are of the media pack. So Kelly talked about the professional bio. Now that isn't just one thing. That's actually a much more useful thing. So we've done a training. There's
Of
a
course, we've
common
done a
saying.
training.
There's a common saying around here, which is we've done a training on that. So we will just add that training in around actually doing your professional bios. But it's not just about having the one bio, it's actually about having it in different versions. So the first thing about a bio is it really should be written in the third person. Why? Because it allows the person who's hosting you to just copy paste. The media rep can literally just go copy paste and lift the copy and put it into their own material, whether that's on the web or whether that's in printed copy, etc. So it's really good to have different lengths of this. So you want the short version, the short 150 word or character kind of description, which is similar to something you'd see on a social media post in some way. You want the full bio.
Not on the post. It's more about your description. So your personal
Yeah.
bio
Sorry,
or your
did
page.
I say post, not description?
Yeah.
Sorry,
so
I
when
apologize.
you've got your description about your page or your personal profile,
Yeah.
it's that short little version that you've got of who you are.
Yeah. It's like think of it as like the kind of your 60-second pitch but read in that way. The other thing you want to definitely have is that full bio, so they get the full extent of who you are, who you really be, and what you've done in that way. So some of those examples of that we were just talking about, and of course you also want to have that all important intro script because you don't want someone to steal your thunder. You want to be introduced in the way that you want to be introduced, especially if your opening line of a keynote is something that is so juicy that if they didn't have a little script, they would use that before you do and steal your thunder. And that's no fun whatsoever. That's the bit, by the way, that is really that you can give to someone to make it easy for them to say, hey, and today we have Kelly Tyler with us, she blah 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 blah. So it just means that you're making it really easy for someone to host you, and that will be appreciated.
And just the question, so ideally 150 characters, because that will allow you to use that on social media as well. I mean, what you get nothing on your personal Facebook profile to the little what your description there. But so yeah, some people when they say you're going to be speaking at an event, there's a little bio, but they go, you've only got this amount of space, which is a paragraph.
Yeah.
So if you can get it down to 150 characters, then brilliant. But 150 words will also do as well. We're just trying to give you your bio in different lengths. It's a really good skill to get to, and it really gets you pithy on what are the key points that you need to actually include in your bio.
Yeah, for sure. And it does mean that if you've got that, you can shift and change it just a little bit. The second thing is your professional photos. I underline and emphasize and bold and italicize the professional photos. We're not talking the snaps that were taken of you. We're talking the ones that you have literally spent time and money on and actually thought about in some way. So we, of course, have a training on that for you to really support you in getting those professional photographs right, because actually presenting yourself in the best possible light is a really good thing. You all need some really decent profile headshots, color, and if you can, black and white as well, because both are really good to have. Again, it's a print thing. It's giving people the choice is a really good thing. But
some events will have it where they only have the profile pictures in black and white, so therefore they want yours in black and white. And sometimes if you just change it into sepia, it doesn't always look as good. So sometimes to actually have it professionally done that way, that it's going to work in both lights.
And that is a little thing, you can ask any one of your, sort of your photographer should be able to provide you with the really high res, sort of version of that. Now, on top of that, we absolutely want you to have some photos that demonstrate you doing your thing, doing your craft. So that might be you with your book, at a book signing, or it might be you speaking on stage. It might be you, whether you've set this up or not, training or coaching somebody, so that you actually give people, they don't have to do the imagination around what do you do. They can literally see you in the picture. And that gives them a good sense of, oh, this is what this person does. And where possible, have some that demonstrate your brand in some way. You'll see that, sort of, we've usually got yellow, blue, and purple running through things in some way, but it allows your personality to also come out. So when you are doing that, and if you do go and watch the Facebook Live, you'll see that, when you are doing your professional photography, incorporate in some photos that incorporate your personality. If you're a little bit wacky and crazy, the chances are that you'll do some shots that are out of the norm of other people. Those are the things that allow you to stand out from the crowd in some way. If there's a prop that you always use, make sure that you've got that prop, because it's something that you talk about. So it really is about adding character and being different, and having, though, a choice of images for whoever is using them to actively use. And of course, they should be very much regularly updated. And big thing here, high res ones, lower res ones, again labeled, so that somebody can use the really high versions for their premium packs, but also low res versions for the website that they're actually using, so that they're not, your photo isn't clogging up the speed of their website, for example. So having a range of photos in high and low res is vital. Phew.
It's really interesting as well, because when somebody covers you in a magazine article or some sort of PR piece, they probably normally see a little profile picture of your high-res photo there, but to give the context around your article, they might put in one of those personality types of shots that isn't the standard boring profile picture. It brings life to the article, brings context to the article. So it's really good to think, what would these pieces be on if I was going to be covered in the media? And we'll cover on this in a minute. And then think, what would be good ones to advise my new photography shoot to get some of those captured, as we're just saying, that they're personality brand images. So we've got a lot of extra lives for you to watch after this if you haven't seen.
We really do.
This is the one that I said I was going to jump on my soapbox for, and I'm sorry about the banging if you can hear that in the background, guys. My next door neighbour is having their fence rebuilt, and that's what the banging is. So the next thing to include in your media packs are showcases or show reels, and people will probably understand what I mean by a speaker show reel, but you might not know what I mean by a coaching or a showcase. So the first thing is when we talk about speaker show reels, this is where any of you who have been in the hub for a while know that I will jump on my soapbox, because out of all the professional speakers that are out there, only 5% have put the time and effort into creating a professional show reel, and a professional show reel that then demonstrates all the things that we want you to do in our training that Helena just put in the comments. Then there's only 1% of the speakers that actually 5% have a show reel, and only 1% of those 5% have a decent show reel. So
which makes it really easy for you to stand out if you have one.
So one of the things is, if you're a speaker and you want to get booked, yes, you can do all the prospecting, you can work on your keynote, but if you have a show reel, it boosts your chance of getting booked as a speaking gig. Because if you've got an agent, or even if you're trying to prospect on your own behalf, the person that's booking the gig has no understanding, awareness, or confidence in your ability to speak, the size audience you've spoken to, what you're like on delivery style, is your personality, do you swear in your keynotes, and all these types of things. They're taking a massive risk because they've never heard you speak. Your show reel is the only way for them to, in those 3 to 5 minutes, go, oh, I like their style, or oh my God, I thought they were going to be good, but they've got the tiniest voice of a mouse and they'd never be able to fill a stadium with 10,000 people, even if I mic them up, right? So it's that way that it's really important that you do that. And again, show reel videos, if you're hosting them on your site rather than sending them off to YouTube or anywhere else where they might have follow-on videos of other speaker show reels you don't want them to see, again, this is a great place for sending a large file, having that there on your website, and people being able to access that. The alternative is a showcase. Now, a showcase can work for coaches, or it can work for speakers who haven't quite got enough video footage to put together a speaker show reel demonstrating their expertise. And a showcase basically is there to show your audience, whether that's your customers as a client, your clients as a coach, or your audience and your bookers as a speaker.
Yeah.
Because it helps them understand. They're very much like an interview. So it's professionally done. You might have photos of you speaking on stages or photos of you with your clients, but overlaid with you being interviewed. And this is the one where you do get your clients to do video testimonials to talk about the results that they've got, either hearing you speak or working with you as a coach. As you'll see in the speaker show reel, and I highly say that you don't have testimonials from your clients in your speaker show reel, because I just want to hear you speak.
Yeah.
But you'll hear me rant about that if you watch that training. So the purpose of this, the purpose of a showcase is to illustrate why you do what you do.
Yeah.
Who you do it for, who are you serving, how do you do what you do, and what results are you getting for the people that you work with. So if you're basically being interviewed and talking about those things, overlaying it with background images, videos, whatever it might be, or just having a really nice setup shot, this is a great thing to have on your Facebook page as a rolling video, your YouTube page. It's a really good thing to put in your show, in your media pack, so people understand how to work with you. It's a great video to put in your welcome onboarding sequence, email nurture sequence, but it just helps people understand and get a feel, as we said about the photography. I really like the warmth of that person, or whatever it might be.
It sets an expectation, if you like. It gives them a try before you buy type of scenario, but it also sets them up, so a showcase will absolutely be something that a prospective client may well watch and go, do you know, I really like the style of that. I now understand. You don't have to, it takes away the imagination for them around what they might be anxious about or what they might be thinking about in some way. It simply allows the nerves to calm down a little bit, brings in some relief, and actually means that they now have an understanding of what they're going to get in a does what it says on the tin kind of way.
Especially if you run like group coaching, they're like, there's only 6 people in that group. I thought it was going to be like 40 people. So they get all these assumptions that Helena said they've got going on in their mind. Yeah. They actually get to see how it actually works. And if you operate from beautiful locations or, blah, 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 they include the environment. When we do our retreat videos, we show you around the whole of the castle that we work in and, the swimming pool and all that type of stuff. So people go, I just want to go to the retreat just to go to the venue more than get trained by these girls. So show reels and showcases. Don't say I'm not ready to put a show reel together yet because I haven't got enough speaking gigs. Have a showcase first, get more speaking gigs, and then convert it into a speaker show reel. But if you're a coach, I would encourage you to have a showcase in there anyway.
Yeah.
Come on to the authors, because we don't want to leave you out. Your media pack, we want book promo stuff, right? So in there, obviously we want high res images of your book so that people can feature it. Yeah. But it's also really good to have a section about your book details. So, your ISBN code, the category it sits under, the RRP, the hardback, the number of pages. It's normally what you'll see on the Amazon page of your book if it's on there. But you want that detail to be on your website so that people can actually go and find you in bookstores with the ISBN if they want to just not get it from Amazon, because we've been slagging Amazon off today. But also on your book page. Well, maybe. On Amazon Prime, just finished. Anyway. It's also potential for you to create a book trailer. We've done training in this in our membership site on Changemaker Central. But you could do a whole little promo video around your book with the whole look inside feature, especially if there's diagrams and things, or the way that it's done. There's lots of books where I've just got one recently where one half of the book's this side up and the other one's the upside down. You read it back to front type of thing. So just to give people that, what's the book about? Who's it for? With a little voice overlay. But maybe with some, videos and stock videos in the background, just to give your book a little bit of a boost.
And a life.
So a book trailer can go into your media pack. And also, if you're traditionally published by a traditional publisher, then what is also good to have is they'll provide you with a PDF of how people like large corporations can do bulk buying of your books. And it will have the whole down. If you bought 500 copies, this is the RRP. If you did this, and some publishers will even allow a certain amount of books to have like the forward written by the company that's commissioned that order or whatever. So it's really good to have those PDFs in the media pack so people can understand how to bulk buy your book as well. So speakers, coaches, authors, right, we've got all the assets for them. Let's move on.
So the thing is, so we've got the professional bio, we've got the photos, we've got the showcase or the show reel or both, we've got the book promo. Here's the thing that you absolutely need to have, whether you're a speaker, author, or coach. You want results in there. You want to be able to have some way of proving to the person who is new to you or who is interviewing you, you want to be in a position where you use, where they use testimonial quotes to promote you because they want to prove that they've got somebody good here. So have a range, a beautiful PDF in some way, have a range of your best written reviews and endorsements, but also if you've got icons of companies that you've worked with, or indeed the Gail Kings of the world, because why not use an example from today, the icons and the logos of your clients that show the credibility of who you've been working with, then you want to be presenting yourself again in the best possible light. Now, here's the other thing, and for some of you, you'll have this, and for others, you may not have this, but if you've got a proven return on investment for people and the average results that you help people achieve, then you want to have that in the section as well, because it just gives people that little sense of, oh yes, and this is what they've done. People love numbers. So even if you have to, I remember with one client that we worked with just a little while back, they had never tallied up their happy scores at the end of courses, and actually, as it turned out, it was 96% across the board over 12 years. So a consistent average of 92% over 12 years worth of delivery. That speaks for a lot, right? And it may even be, when I look back on this, I have trained literally thousands of people in the tens of thousands as well. It's coming up to now. Those are stats that lend you a credibility and a professionalism that really speaking about it doesn't do. So put numbers in where you can. The last little piece, go on. Oh, Kelly, you're on mute because of the banging.
Sorry, I'm on mute because of the banging. So Dilys is one of my speakers here, and so you'll see in her bio, one of her major clients increased corporate sales from 125,000 to 1.1 million within 12 months, right? Amazing. So that's the type of thing that you would put on that results sheet.
Yeah. So the second piece is obviously the other thing that boosts your credibility would be media coverage. So where else? Kelly alluded to this earlier. Where else have you actively shown up? What magazine articles? What TV appearances? We've all seen websites, and if you have actually got this and you don't have a little string of logos across your website that say, as seen on or as featured in, you want to be able to have those icons and logos where you've spoken or been interviewed, because those speak volumes on your behalf. I've just seen Uchenna's got, hang on, here we go. Yes, sorry, I can't actually read that out. It's gone for me.
I can read it. So Uchenna said, my coaching business is new, less than 8 weeks, and I haven't signed up many clients yet. So you're in a great place.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's probably good for you to do is to go to the guide section of the Connection Hub and watch the videos on how to run a coaching business.
Yeah.
But we encourage people that are early stage in any of their businesses to potentially do some beta testing with some clients in exchange for maybe a lower fee, but contracted that they're going to give you video testimonials that you can use for commercial purposes and written ones as well. But they're also going to give you feedback on your coaching and see if that package was something that they would do going forward. So there's a training in there about how to know whether your customers will buy your products. That's probably a really good one for you to watch, to learn how to do all that testing stuff and to get those testimonials under your belt.
Yeah. So we've thrown a whole heap of information at you. You might well be running off to gather those things together. You might be going, oh, thank goodness, I'm just doing my website so I can actually add one of these to it. And if you haven't got one, then work your way through those 6 things. So remember, a professional bio, the professional photos, the showcase or show reels, the book promo, the results, and the media coverage. Now, if you don't have any of those things, then they go on your to-do list in order to start gathering so that you can start to filter for all of those things. So here comes our question for you, and we would love to know
just
the
one
answer.
thing.
Oh, go on then.
I've just put in the links, another training that we did with Rachel about how to get featured in the media, so that you can see how you can use your media pack to respond to her journalists. And Media Matchmaker is a partner of ours, and they put in journo requests in the Connection Hub weekly, and so they will be requiring you to have this stuff in order to respond to those journo requests. So please make sure that you check out those ones, and you follow Rachel and Media Matchmaker too.
Yeah, for sure. So what we want to invite you to share in the comments at the end of this is, what do you need to do to develop or enhance your media pack today on the back of what you've heard? When was the last time you looked at it? Do you need to go and look at it again? What do you need to really put yourself in the limelight so that you can show up really proud and professional? That is our Tuesday training for you. We will be back obviously next week with a guest, I believe. And yes, we wish you a productive, effective, efficient. Oh, have you got something to say?
Just can everyone pray for some sunshine in the UK? I'd love for the summer to start after summer solstice. It's like it would be quite apt for the sun to show itself, I think.
Well, maybe we get that on maybe we're just waiting for the strawberry moon to actually show its face, and then the sun will come out shining again. Who knows? On that note,
lots of people saying that most people are having to start from scratch on their media packs. So
this is perfect. So you've got a blank canvas, and now it's no longer blank. You know what boxes to put things in. Right. On that note, we're going to leave you to it.
See you, everyone. Bye.